In the manga series Naruto and its subsequential anime adaptation, the overarching question and theme of the series is, what does it mean to be a ninja? The answer, more or less, at the end of the story is, to be a ninja is to have the strength to endure through pain, through suffering, in order to protect things or those you love the most. Or, as Jiraiya puts it in his conflict with Orochimaru, a ninja is not measured by the amount of jutsus they can use, but by the guts to never give up. There's other themes and subjects tackled in the series, but what that made me think of is Batman, of all things, I know. What does it mean to be Batman? This question is more complicated than you would think, and I feel like a lot of people have different interpretations of the answer. As opposed to what Twitter might think, to me, Batman is not a weird rich fascist that hates the poor and beats up the homeless.
Are you ready, Jack?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
And it's been hard. It's been hard for me ever since, my cat died. I've been out
You're a
here
wonderful
just
knight.
trying to mosey my way through Gotham.
You parked over the line.
Unless it's some sort of alternate universe reality version of the character that is specifically made to contrast the mainline Batman.
If you really want to make a difference, if you want to change the system instead of just patching it, you can't be subtle. You've got to step into the sunlight. Take over, like we did. Think about it. A world where there's no crime, no victims, no pain, and no choice. You grabbed power, and with that power, we've made a world where no 8-year-old boy will ever lose his parents because of some punk with a gun.
Showing the differences between the Batman there is and the Batman that could be if something went slightly different or slightly wrong.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I'll pay it, whatever it is. And the food, it was good, really.
They'd love it here, don't you think? Who? Mom and Dad. They'd be so proud of you.
Batman fights against crime bosses and the elites of Gotham. And as Bruce Wayne, he helps the institutions, tries to get rid of corruption, helps charities and people directly through giving away jobs or aid or numerous ways of redistribution or direct help. The one thing I hate about most of his big screen interpretation is the rule of cool, which really bothers me because Batman is already cool. So when movies go out of their ways to put Batman in a position where he has to beat relentlessly random people on the street, this is where all those memes come from. This is where the perception of Batman beating up homeless people and the poor and the working class comes from. It comes from movies that have him mostly beat up on like 50 different henchmen dudes who probably are there for a hot dog and a handshake. And don't get me wrong, Batman does beat up criminals. It's a thing that he obviously does. But he's also very compassionate, kind, understanding, to a fault even. He tries to redeem each of his villains. Each person in his rogue gallery has at one point or another been either redeemed or close to being redeemed. But due to the never-ending cycle of the comic book medium, which dictates nothing is forever, no change is forever. Just like in Adventure Time, ironically enough, everything stays, but it still changes. In comic books, everything changes, but it stays the same. So there's almost a tragedy to Batman's character, stuck in a medium that will never allow for his villains to be redeemed or for him to have a happy ending. The same way the comic book medium restrains Batman in this way, the movie medium restrains him in the way that he needs to have cool fight scenes in order to entertain the general audiences that need action in their superhero movies. I think Batman the Animated Series does a wonderful job in balancing between the three acts that I mentioned. One being showing the compassion and kindness of Bruce. Two, being at the end of the day a never-ending story, as long as there's a show going on, there needs to be villains to come back without being redeemed, just like in a comic book. And the third is having action for the children to enjoy, just like the masses enjoy in movies. So you have this blend of complexity when it comes to Batman in this iteration. In Mask of the Phantasm, Bruce struggles with his identity and contemplates giving up being Batman due to his romantic relationship with Andrea. To him, the fact that he could be happy after what happened to his parents is almost unimaginable. So there's this very beautiful, very powerful scene of him going to their graves, pleading with them that he could help the city in other ways. He can't be Batman because there's this woman that he has to be there for. But almost supernaturally, symbolically, every time he gives an argument to why he should stop being Batman, everything makes it out as a response to no. It's almost like the world tells him, no, you need to be Batman.
I can give money to the city, they can hire more cops, let someone else take the risk, but it's different now. I know I made a promise, but I didn't see this coming. I didn't count on being happy.
And ultimately, he cannot give up the mission because of his sense of guilt, the sense of responsibility, the fact that he has to avenge the death of his parents by not allowing it to happen to any other child out there or anybody in Gotham. He needs to be Batman, so nobody else has to. In the Batman the Animated Series episode Baby Doll, the character Baby Doll, I know, who would have thought, is a 30-year-old woman trapped in a body that makes it look like she's only a toddler. After spending years playing a toddler in a sitcom with Robin losing his mind over it, apparently, it's hilarious. She eventually becomes disgruntled and leaves to pursue her own acting career. However, given her size and look, most people don't take her seriously. Even Robin scoffs at her.
You.
Which is kind of insane because I thought she was doing really well.
Will these hands never be clean? Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
After all this ridicule, she eventually turns to crime. She kidnaps all her former family members from the sitcom in order to recreate her glory days and her fake family that doesn't really exist. And even plans on killing all of them along with herself. Her dysmorphia, knowing that she is a 30-year-old woman, that she is a grown adult, but what everyone will ever see is a child, and that she will always be treated as a child, drove her to insanity. The futility of trying to make people's perception of you change despite your appearance has brought her to the point of being okay with killing. But what's perhaps even more understated within this episode by majority of people is her contrast to Bruce. In a way, she is a grown adult, a woman, stuck in the body of a child, whereas Bruce Wayne is a grown adult who is stuck in the mind of the Bruce Wayne that lost his parents as a child. And perhaps that is the reason why, at the end of the day, after all she's done, attempting murder, kidnapping, almost shooting Batman a couple of times, in the end, when she faces the image of herself that she dreams of, that she wants to see, she realizes that it's not reality, shoots it, and then at the end you can even see her real reflection in the mirror on the ground. But what does Batman do? Does he attack her? Does he punch her? Does he use violence? No. He consolates her and hugs her while she is crying, because he does understand her to some extent and is compassionate enough to try and help her. This is one of those moments that defines Batman for me, and it happens again and again in Batman the Animated Series. One of my favorite scenes of all time with Batman is not him punching somebody, is not him trying to fight Darkseid or whatever. It's a moment between him and Harley Quinn after he captures her and brings her back to the Arkham Asylum. He gives her a gift, and specifically this exchange of dialogue between the two is so beautiful.
Just stay with me all day, risking your butt for someone who's never given you anything but trouble.
I know what it's like to try and rebuild a life. I had a bad day too, once.
And to me, that is Batman. Don't get me wrong, Batman is cool and edgy and fights people, and he is rich and a billionaire and etc. But he also is a good person. Otherwise, why is he the superhero? And I know it happens in the DC animated universe, but I low-key hate the idea that Bruce Wayne is his fake identity. I think, in my opinion, what Batman should be is Batman, and Bruce Wayne should be Bruce Wayne. Neither of them should be a fake identity. They should both be his identities. Maybe my favorite moment in any Batman media ever is in the episode of Brave and the Bold when he finally confronts Big Chill. Big Chill? No, that's the guy from Ben 10. No, Joe Chill. He finally confronts him.
I am the son of the man you murdered. I am Bruce Wayne.
And he's given an ultimatum by the Phantom Stranger and the Spectre. He is to either kill Joe Chill and avenge his parents, become the ultimate agent of vengeance. He knows Batman's identity now. He knows he's Bruce Wayne. If he lives, Batman dies. And Bruce has one of my favorite lines of all time, where he lets go of Joe Chill and tells the Spectre that Batman might die, but Bruce Wayne never. Because yes, Batman exists due to what happened to Bruce Wayne, but Batman is also Bruce Wayne. And if Batman was only Batman and not Bruce Wayne, then what's the point of it all? My view, they're both performances. Bruce Wayne is what he wants the public to see, and Batman is what he wants criminals to see, with his real self being both.